Hi, welcome, welcome. I am so glad you joined me today. My name is Kelly Pitts, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Lubbock, Texas. And all of my information where you can track me down has to do with Create with Kelly. Like my Facebook page is Create with Kelly, and my YouTube channel is Create with Kelly Pitts. Also have a blog at createwithkelly.com. So it's easy to find if you spell the Kelly right. And that's Kelley. So I'm glad you joined, whether or not you're watching live on YouTube or you're watching live on Facebook or you're watching the replay on either one. I'm always thrilled just to be able to share my creativity and hopefully inspire someone to be creative with Stampin' Up! Products, and let you know that I'm available for anybody in the US who's interested in products. I can help you figure out, go through the catalog and go through the online exclusives, kind of figure out what you might need. But this is finally the last video in the series that I did 7 videos. It was like in one weekend in May, I think. I mean, it's been at least a month. And I have been working on kits for all these cards. So I did sell 6 of those, and I realized really quickly that I'm not going to make any more kits, but I'm happy to share my PDF that has, it's like a project sheet that has all the measurements for all 30 cards that I made with the Frames and Flowers DSP. That's a specialty DSP from Stampin' Up! In this latest catalog. And it is on page 29. Let me get that for you. And it is gorgeous. And it comes with 3 sheets. Whoops, let's make that a little bigger, shall we? There we go. 3 sheets of designer series paper, and then 3 sheets of filled with die cuts that coordinate with all that. So that is really a fun set. And I played 30 cards. So you may have already seen the first 7 of the videos. If you haven't, you can go back and do that. But I will have a link. I think these are just my roughs here. They're not put together because I just had one set. Oh, and hopefully I'm not going to do all that pixelating like that just showed. Dang it. Let me check my internet again. This is part of why I've been having fits on. Yeah, it should be on the right one. So we will cross our fingers. Okay, that doesn't look good. Y'all having trouble? Whoever's watching out there, please let me know when you tune in. Let me have a comment and let me know who you are and where you're from. And if you're having trouble with this, let me see if I can switch the screen and maybe, let's see, let's go to, I wanted to tell you about this anyway. So we do have a new catalog that came out in May, and you can access it online or you can get a paper copy. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you're interested in the catalog, I'll be happy to get you one. Just let me know. You can email me at createwithkelly.com and we'll get that worked out for you. We also have exciting news that it is time for bonus days. So you can earn to redeem right now, for every $50 you spend in the month of July, you get a $5 coupon that you can spend in August. How fun is that? Yay! Bonus days time. I need a little tune for that, but I don't. And I also wanted to tell you, I will be having some classes with, probably classes and classes to go, using the Halloween set that is in the online exclusives, Potions and Spells bundle. And then we also have the Changing Leaves bundle that is another one of those hybrid embossing folders that is just gorgeous, where you can make all these leaves with gorgeous details. Wonderful. And I'm excited to start playing with those now that I'm finishing up this video. As soon as I get these finished, I will get all the rest of this into the PDF, and then I will have those for sale. There should be a link below. Y'all let me know if that works or not. The Google form, I'm hoping, is up and live from this video, but we'll see. I will, if you're on my mailing list, I will send you, you'll be getting a link through that to my Google form, a link through the MailChimp. So just be sure and subscribe to createwithkelly.com and you'll get that. Now we're going to, this is kind of the whole class that well, it's not really a class now. It's not going to be a class. It's just going to be a PDF project sheet that includes all of these measurements, all the layouts, all the photos, the inside, outside photos of all these 30 cards, and a supply list that lets you know what you need to make all those yourself. $20 for the PDF. So that tells you how to make like 30 cards. Yay! How fun. So today we're going to make these last two. I'm going to set this aside and see if I can keep from messing all that up. And we'll switch the camera over. And for tuning in, we will do that right there and see if that is going to stay fuzzy or not. It's it is pixelating. And I rebooted my computer and I did all the cleaning, CC cleaner, all that. So I'll just go slowly and hopefully we can make this work just fine. Okay, we are starting with a piece of shaded spruce, and that is, let's see, if we, wonder if I just go to one screen and get me off, if that will help. If we just go to the main solo layout, or if that's the one that's pixelating. I think it is. Yes, it is. But let's see if I can out a little bit. Don't know what's causing it. So if it is horrible, we'll start over another time. But this is your typical 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, shaded spruce, as I said. And we're just going to use a bone folder and get that creased really well. And we're going to take a piece of soft sea foam, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. And we are just going to glue that right down. You could use your liquid glue. You can use, I don't know that that's even helping. Is it like the 2-in-1 with this bigger? Which way do you like it better? I feel like I could talk to you better this way, but y'all tell me which one you want today. We're going to use liquid glue. You could use Stampin' Seal, like I said, if you prefer, whatever your glue of choice is. And I'm going to put my little glue mat so I won't make a mess here on my desktop. So that should have a nice even border all the way around. Okay, easy peasy. And then this frame came in the kit. So the center of it was in there on the kit, but it just pops right out. I don't think I have it handy to show you, but we are we going to pop that one up? Or are we just going to pop this and that up? I think we're going to pop it up too. I think we're going to go pop it up in the corners, and then maybe the other stuff will, where it overlaps, I won't double stack it so that it's too terribly thick. But I do want this frame to stand up so we get a little shadowing. Hope y'all are having a great weekend. It's been a busy one for me. We, some friends and I went to the First Friday Art Trail here in Lubbock on Friday afternoon, and it was really interesting. It has changed quite a bit since I was there last. I don't know if any of y'all have been to that lately. Oops, let me move over. Sorry, missing the comments. Hi, Rebecca. I'm so glad you're feeling well enough to get on and craft with me. Yay, yay, yay. Hi, Tanya. Glad you're here. And okay, good. I'm glad that it worked when you clicked on it, at least, Tanya. We know that works. And as a team member, you too, y'all get my PDFs for free. So that's a heck of a deal. Just another perk of being a demonstrator, right? On my team. Thrilled to have you. And Tanya, I know you've made a lot of these cards already. I'm excited that you got ahead of the game. And hopefully we're not going to have any more technical issues here. Let's see. I think I'm going to switch to mini dimensionals on this. See if I can get that without trying to not to make that pixelating happen, but I don't know how to stop it really. I'm just going to move slowly and see if that helps. I don't know that it will. Okay. Several of those. Get these backings off. Whoops. We may have to glue that one because that, no, I think that's going to work. Okay. Move that. And we're just going to pop that up where it just kind of overlaps there a little bit. And I might want to do a little, this die cut is of course from that same Frames and Flowers kit. And then I wanted to show you a couple of options on this hello. This is from the same Thoughtful Moments hybrid embossing folder that I've been using. But I did want to show you there's a couple of ways to play with your whatever you want to cut out with that hybrid embossing folder that embosses and cuts. You can go in and use a marker or a blender pen to kind of give it some color inside the little, the L and the O. You could do that on the pink also. You could also kind of double stack this like that. Isn't that pretty? Where the white really kind of pops. I have gone in and kind of fussy cut a little bit around that, and you can see I separated the L and I separated the two L's there. So you can do that too. I'll just show you that really quickly here. If you wanted to just do that little bit there to kind of make that look a little bit more like the whole thing was kind of scripty cut out instead of all stuck together there. And it seems like I need left-handed scissors for that. I don't know how I did. I guess I need to just go backwards and do it like this. Okay. So there we go. So now the L, whoops, kind of left a triangle there. Let's clean that up just a bit. But if you're trying to do quick and easy, I would just let it go like it is. But I wanted to see what y'all thought about that. If you like the hello stacked, or if you just like the petal pink. That's solid petal pink. And then use a wink of Stella on it like we have been. I also tried, just to show you another option. This one, it doesn't show up a whole ton, but I went in and used a sponge dauber with white craft ink on top of the petal pink. So that's an option too. And then I have shown you already, but we could do it again with the, if you use a little sponge dauber, it's really pretty difficult to get it with the small blending brushes. I kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of really hard to do that with that because this is such a small area. Let's try this just in case. We're going to go just with a little Calypso coral. And that is too dark and there's not any coral in this. Dang it. Okay, I guess we are going to double stack it. I meant to do petal pink and wasn't thinking. Oh well, but that's the way you do it, is just use your sponge dauber and get that little bit of color on there. Several of the others use Calypso coral, and so it showed up a little more. But since this particular one doesn't have any of the coral, let's go ahead and try the double stack on here. And we'll just glue this. Since this is kind of already raised, I think this would, and then we're going to pop the whole thing up. I'm just going to put a little glue on here, and that's probably a bit much. I'm just not going to go all the way to the ends. Not sure exactly where this is going to touch. the other one. So I don't want it oozing off and running everywhere. But we're just going to stack it where it has a little bit of a shadow effect with that, the petal pink behind the white. And probably should do all of it kind of to the left, so the shadow is underneath, kind of. Oh man, and that Calypso coral is going to show. So I may have to redo that before. So you may want to leave more of a border. I'm going to switch over and see if I can do it this way, even though I've got glue everywhere, because I want to try to cover up that Calypso coral that I did. And shouldn't have, obviously. But I don't think that'll be too terribly noticeable. And then we're just going to pop that up right there. And we'll use, I really recommend using adhesive sheets on this. Not adhesive sheets, adhesive strips. And these are sold in my online store. If y'all need some of these, it really is so much easier than trying to cut your dimensionals down. You can do that if you just have a little bit of something to do. But this is much easier when you've got several areas on whatever you're doing that need to be raised up and they don't really fit with the dimensional. A dimensional could be too fat. So we'll do that. The only thing is you probably don't want to use both levels because the dimensionals are not quite as tall as the strips. So you want to, if you're going to start with strips, you need to use strips the whole way. Does that make sense? Okay. Tanya, you've only got awesome. And now I'm showing you the last two. And yeah. How fun. And then we'll add a little wink of Stella on there. See, we're just popping that up. Easy peasy. Let's get rid of that. Get our little wink of Stella out. And wink of Stella still shows up even if it's on white. So you can use this on any color. Woo! Got a little glittery there. I think I need to shake that a bit. Got a little gunky or something. I don't know what I've got in there. Well, hopefully it just looks a little snazzy. I don't know what I got in there. That pretty? Okay, there's that one. And then we're going to do the inside. We've done simple little strips. And if you want to stamp on there, go ahead and stamp before you glue your cardstock. So you have your do-over side. And I tried to make these really fairly simple and just use a few things extra besides what came in that specialty designer series paper, that Frames and Flowers. So really we only use Stylish Shapes dies and the Thoughtful Moments hybrid embossing folder, linen thread. And if you want to add embellishments, you can do that also. And I didn't quite get that straight at the bottom. Should have checked that first before I glued it on, but we're going to see if we can slice it like that. Sometimes that works, sometimes it does not. Shave. Okie dokie. And now let's use a little, since we've used linen twine on almost all of them, we'll make a little double bow like we usually do on the other cards. And usually it's about 9 inches or so, or 18 actually, and then use half of that for each side. So a total of total of 18 inches, but 2 9-inch strips when you cut it in half. Let's see how we did there. Not very well. Let's try it again, shall we? Rebecca, is your mom still here? Tell Francie hi, give her a hug from me. And so glad you're doing well. Here we go. I know, Rebecca, you don't have to do the bow part. Some people don't like to do bows at all. And Rebecca's one of them. But she's getting better at it. She's working on it. But it's just such an easy way to add a little something something to the card. I didn't do a very good job of getting that attached to my bow first. I think we'll just add that right there. It doesn't matter if that goes off the edge a little bit. And that could be underneath there. Let's get my ribbon scissors, snip that a little bit. That was quite a bit. All right. There we have it. There is card number 29 of 30. How fun. Okay. Oh, dang it. I meant to show y'all. This was originally what my plan was. This is from the, what is it? Tanya, Life is Beautiful or something. I can't remember. But the friend would be really pretty from that set also. And I don't know why that's pixelating. Dang it. Yes, we'll show you another. We'll show you on the bow jig, Rebecca. Let's see if I have one handy. Since we're only doing 2 cards today. Okay, if you have some kind of bow jig, any kind of a wooden piece or whatever, I've seen people with nails in with holes. It's just something with the holes about a 1/2 inch apart is a bow jig, and Stampin' Up does not sell these. But a lot of demonstrators use them. So, Rebecca, I almost got my feelings hurt there. I thought you were saying you needed another demo, like another demonstrator. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Just because I use bows. And I realized you just needed the bow jig. Okay. Here we go, Rebecca. You just, and whoever else out there is watching, you just, if you have a bow jig like this and need a refresher, you can, let's make it a little bit bigger, I think. You come from the back, and then your left hand is on the bottom. Your right hand, that side comes over. Okay, so we've just got them crossed. Then you take the right side that you just took over, take it behind, underneath that back part. Can you see that? It's hard to tilt this. You've got it on the back, and then you bring it up, and see, you can already see the bow right there. You can already see it. So then you're just going to finish it out. Easy for me to say, right? So you just tuck that under as if you were tying your laces or tying anything else. Whoops, hang on. Trying to look at the camera and look at the thing. I'll let it go. Okay, so that comes over. And then that part that you just had in the back stays on the left, comes underneath. You grab both of those, and then that's it right there. Then you, before you tighten it up, you make sure that's the way you want it. And then you just pull it off the deal, and it'll be a cute little bow with long tails, evidently. I had a long piece. So that's it. on the bow jig. Easy peasy. And I know there are several people out there who sell those, and I have a friend of mine here who will make them. But y'all just let me know if you need one or you need another lesson. Come by anytime. I'll show you how to use it real quick or do a detailed video. Okay, we're ready for our next card. This one is one that I saw Rachel Tessman do. Okay, not exactly like this at all, but it is similar. I learned the fold from her, and I will link that video. If I didn't already link it below, I will come back and link that. So, okay, this card, it starts out where you're holding it like this, and I'm going to pull it apart, so I'll just land. Help figure this out. But it opens up like this, so that'll stay there. And then this is going to be on the inside, and it's going to have the "You Make Me Happy" right here. And then when you open it up here, it will have this over here, kind of like that, and a little strip. Oh my goodness, I hope I didn't lose my little strip. I thought I was putting that all together right. I'll find it. But it'll have another little strip of this right there. And where is that strip? If you know me very well, you can imagine what my desk looks like, but it's a good thing the rest of y'all don't know me. You can't see this. Good grief. I had it just moments ago, and now it has disappeared. But let's go ahead and put the card together, and I'll do that kind of at the last. Okay, because I don't see it anywhere. Okay, we're going to start with a piece that is, oh, that's it right there. Oh, good grief. Kelly. Okay, the one that Rachel Tessman did was 4 1/4, but I like to use the designer series paper. This is one of those patterns in the pack. Comes just like that, except it's 12 inches. So I measured off 4 so I could get 3 on the page, 3 of these sheets out of the 12 by 12. So mine is it started off as 4 by 12. Okay. And I cut this 1 inch piece off. So now it's 4 by 11. And I scored it lightly at 5 1/2. Either just lightly do it on your trimmer or just fold it in half and make sure the corners are even. And then take your bone folder and crease it. Okay, because this is delicate paper compared to our cardstock, which is really heavy duty. This paper is a lot more delicate, so you don't want to score it a whole bunch on the trimmer. All right, now we're going to say this is the front of the card. So you're going to fold this corner down and just take this corner. You're holding this piece of paper and you're going all the way up to that edge. Can you see that? In this corner to the edge right there. And then you'll take your bone folder and straighten that out so that you have that flap. Okay, so it starts like that, and it's kind of easier to see what you're doing. I think it's less awkward if you turn it to the side, but you can do it however you want, just as long as that corner comes, the right hand or bottom corner comes up to the left, and you straighten that out. Okay, so that's all there is to that part. Easy, right? 4 by 11 now. Then we have another piece, and this one is Pretty Peacock. And this is, let's see, I have my little book here that I covered up when I was looking for that. Let's see, it should be 4 by 5 1/8. Let's see, 5 1/8, yes, by 4 4 by 5 1/8, and then it is scored at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, 5 1/8 by 4, scored at 3/4 of an inch. All right. I am going to recommend liquid glue for this, and I'm doing this a little bit different. I kept getting confused on the Rachel Tessman one a little bit on when you turn it and flip it and do all that. So I'm just going to go ahead and use liquid glue so I don't have to get it perfect right now like I would if I were doing seal or something else. Okay, I'm going to make this, whoop. I didn't want to do that. Whew, glad I didn't lose that. Okay, I usually have a bigger screen here for me to look at. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to put the glue just right on here on this flap. So we've got it as a valley. Your bump is on the inside. You've got the valley here, and this is on the left. Okay, now we've got the card with just that corner flap is folded down. So this is the front of our card. So we're going to open it all the way up. It's hard to get all that in the screen there. And then we're just going to put this, stick this little flap underneath here. Okay, we're going to stick it right up against that score line. And since we've got liquid glue, we know we can move it if we need to. So we're going to fold it over and then make sure, then see, you can tell on the back, you can see, is that lined up here? We need to make sure it's lined up on both sides like that. And then if it's straight, then go ahead and glue that down. Okay, if not, wiggle it around till we get it straight. Okay, we're going to flip it back. So this is going to open out like that. Got it? That's folded in. This is going to fold on top. Then when the recipient gets it, they're going to open this up. Okay? So hopefully I'm doing it right. There we go. That seems easier to me. But you do need to do liquid glue, because if you had put seal on there, you wouldn't have been able to wiggle it to get it straight after you flip it over. But I think with the flipping it over and back and forth makes it difficult for me to make sure if I'm doing the right thing. So that's the way I did mine. All right. Now we've got, excuse me, we're going to take this 1-inch piece. See, when this folds back in, we've got plenty of room here to do kind of whatever we want. So what we're going to do is glue this on here. I'm going to glue it about like that so that I have a little bit of that sticking up right there. See that edge? And then that'll be pretty up against that, and kind of split those up, kind of make that a little more decorative. Okay, so that's my plan. And I'm using, for the inside here, this is where our little message is going to be. And I do mean little, not a big message. Not going to get to write a lot on this card. So sometimes that's a good thing. But I decided I wanted the Calypso Coral. And I've got that Calypso Coral in white. And if you wanted to go ahead and punch some leaves out of this, or whatever you wanted to do, you could with that bow punch. Let's see if I have that in here. You could do that. But if you're going to write on there, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably leave it, because when you write on the white, it might not, the pen might not work that well. So let's just go ahead and leave this. And whichever one you think, we could do this, glue this one first, or glue this piece first. I'm going to go ahead and kind of center this where I think it should be. And then I'll know kind of how much to go over with this. I'm going to go a little bit more so we can go there. Okay, and this piece is 3 1/8 by 3 1/2. 3 1/8 by 3 1/2. And then if you're going to stamp something on the white piece, you would go ahead and stamp that before you glue it down. And if y'all have any questions, let me know. I can reopen it or redo whatever part again. Okay. Now we're going to glue this on, and I'm just going to glue the edge of this. So I don't know exactly how far over to glue this. So I'm just going to put the glue here, and we're going to glue it, making sure our patterns match. Do that like that, which should leave this border about the same all the way. I've got that a little bit crooked, but it's too late now. Okay, so we're going to have about that much on the back, which is probably 1/4 of an inch. Let's just see. Yeah, 1/4 of an inch. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to fold that back in and fold this over. So when you first, this really messed with my brain a little bit here, okay? Because I was trying to figure out if this, why does this need to read this way or this way? I know hers was reading this way when she did it, when Rachel Tessman did it. And I'm like, well, why does it have to be that way, where this would have to be facing as if this were a vertical card? Okay. And it's because when you open this up, we're going to pretend this is attached. When you open it up, see, for this card, now it's reading the right way. Got it? Okay. Let's do it again. Because if you do it this way, you think, well, if it's going to be a horizontal card that opens all the way out, why not do the little greeting left to right also? But then when you open it up, the hello is going to be up and down, and you don't want it that way. Okay. So just believe me when I say the greeting does need to go horizontally, left to right. And we're going to pop this up with some more of our little strips. We'll just do that. And I wouldn't go all the way to the end of this. We don't know exactly where we're putting it, so just kind of cover the majority of those big letters, and you should be good to go. And I don't think I'm going to put any on the O. We may have that hanging off a little bit. Yeah, it does need a little bit. Okay. We're going to go right here. Snip. And then we'll just put a little of this kind of on the inside so that if this hangs out, it's okay. But at least it's supported. Okay. Didn't do a very good job cutting that off. Okay, now that'll do it, I think. Tad bit in there. We've got some right here. Why not use it? Right? It's replaceable. Have y'all ever made a fold like this? Either of you, Rebecca or Tanya, or anybody watching? Have y'all done this before? I had not seen it, so it took a lot for me to grasp, but Rachel did a great job explaining it and did like 3 different options with totally different paper and all that. So she did one with this paper, but it looks totally different than what I chose, because I actually was thinking that I was saving this to do a second one of the cards that uses that, but I decided I wanted to use it on this instead. All right, we're going to say hello with that hanging off a little bit. And then probably just go ahead and mount this flat to here, but we don't want to do that yet. One thing we want to do is get a little bit of border between this and that to kind of make these flowers pop, these little buds in there. So we're going to glue this from the back. So it's this part we want it on. Double check yourself again. Okay, so I'm going to put it just on this edge right here. Let's get our little mat out again. Put it here. Okay, and then we're going to bring it up more than we think we need. Whoops. That's not quite enough. Let's do... Okay, let's make it stick. Whoop, that wasn't good. We may need to do that again, because we're going to cut this angle off in a little bit here. Okay, now we can even that up. Whatever, I'm trying to get it where y'all can see on camera. So whatever works for you on that. Now we're going to fold. We're just going to take that, trim that right there. Is that what she did? Did I do that right or wrong? Let's think about that. Nope, that should have been straight. Okay. This should be straight. Now, and it should come all the way to the end there, which it does not quite come that far. So just be a little more careful when you're measuring there. I was thinking that would be at a point, but it's really straight. So we have that right there. See how much color that adds? And you could make it more or less, whatever. Just kind of, I just kind of had a scrap of the coral, and that's what size it is. So, yep, I'm not going to be able to peel it off. We're just going to make that work. So that'll be like that. And then we'll have our flower up here that we can pop up. And this could either, nope, it's got to tuck under that. So, yeah, I think it could be popped up. There's no reason for it not to be. I don't think. We can try it, and then if it's a problem, we'll glue it flat. How about that? Okay, and I'm not going all the way to the end. We may have to trim that just a little bit. It should be okay because we should have room, extra room in the envelope. You just don't want that to get all bent and beat up. So we're going to do this. Just like that. And then it should open just fine. Yeah, you've got a little of that one showing over the top, but it doesn't really bother me. So I'm good with that. Now this is going to fold in. Look how pretty it's turning out. Isn't that fun? So I haven't done one like this. This is the first time I've tried it. So we're doing it together. I had just kind of laid it out like I thought it might go. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that down flat right here. And we're going to use the little trick that I learned from Rachel Tessman about the Post-it note. And I know I've shown some of y'all that before, but it bears repeating. Okay, what we're going to do is stick this Post-it note up against that edge. And this is turned with the sticky side up. And get that about even, about where you want it. Should be about right there. Okay, now we're sticking it to the back of this, okay? And that way we know this is where the glue goes. Isn't that brilliant? Thank you, Rachel Tessman, for that tip. Okay, then you line that Post-it note back up again. You can push it up against that edge to get it like you want it. Press the glued part down and peel the Post-it note up. And see, you don't have glue where you don't want it. Yay! Isn't that awesome? That's a good little trick. An easy peasy trick. Okay, now back to this part that's going to be folded in. Alrighty. Now, what we need to decide, I thought the problem I was having when I was first trying to do this, she did a really pretty leaf coming off of here or something in the corner, but it just kept looking awkward either when I had it this way and then you have the stem sticking out, which I didn't like. So I decided I would do it where I cover all that with a circle. I cover the stems with a smaller circle. This is one size smaller stitched Stylish Shapes die. This circle is one size smaller than that one. Okay. So we're just going to play here and decide how much greenery we want, or do we want light? Do we want dark? Do we want soft sea foam, granny apple green? Here's old olive. And this does need to be on the inside of that fold because it's going to have to fold open. So all this would get bent up if you make it stick outside the card. Does that make sense? And then I can put these, like that's enough greenery. Is that too much? Do we want another one? Do we want one coming up here? That seems kind of a little bit getting on the busy side to me. What are y'all thinking? I think that one's too much. So do we want just 3 little ones? And then when you open it, then see, we're going to have it like that. Isn't that pretty? Then we'll have this, You Make Me Happy, here. Bottom only. I agree. Y'all think these 3 are good, or do you want the light instead of the old olive? I'm just not sold on that soft sea foam with that petal pink. You could use no, petal pink. Probably not. We've got a crumb cake. If we want a more neutral one. No on the soft sea foam, I'm assuming, Rebecca. So you're kind of liking this just like that is? That works. Or do you want a Lost Lagoon? I don't really like the shaded spruce against that. It doesn't show up. Let's see on the Lost Lagoon. I had some of those too. Not seeing it. Of course, now that I'm looking for it, I'm not seeing it. But if y'all are good with this, then that's what we'll do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this flat. We have kind of auditioned our pieces. So these are this is using the bow punch, and you can't, if you wanted to stamp on these, you could use that stamp set that coordinates with it, layering leaves. Oops, that worked really well, didn't it? Okay, and we're just going to put these flat and just keep going back and forth and looking to see what they look like on the inside and on the from the outside before you glue it down. Whoops, I think I needed it more out here. Okay, a little more this way. If I can move it without tearing it up. Okay, Something like that. Or do we want petal pink there? Or we could use the soft sea foam or the crumb cake in this instead of the coral, because I forgot about that coral. Too much. So you could just keep playing around with yours and get it the way you want it. I kind of like the coral there, but I think we don't need the coral there with that there. So I'm not getting a lot of comments here, or either it's way behind. Let's see how we're doing. Okay. Dang, I don't get this pixelating business. Sorry about that, folks. Our internet is just not the best, I guess. So there we have it. I'm going to glue this down. And make sure that doesn't show when it's closed, okay? So it's covering up all my stems, and it doesn't show when it's closed. So that should be right about in the center of that. Then we're going to do the You Make Me Happy. And you could pop that up probably on the inside, but it's going to be right underneath that. So that would be really thick to mail if you do that. So just keep that in mind. Might want to just keep this one flat. And I'm just going to glue this on this side. Whoops. Did y'all see that scoot over there by itself? I saw that. All right, let's get a little bit of Wink of Stella, or let's make sure. Okay, here's our card. Here's the front. Then when they get it, they'll open it up like this. And then they'll open it up like that. And there's our little message. And then they can stand it on their desk if they want. Like that. How cute. Isn't that fun? And we can wink these little buds. Maybe a little bit of line in the leaves. Keeping it subtle. And this, you have to use a really, really light touch when you're using the Wink of Stella, when you're doing this embossed area. And you could go on here with the Calypso Coral on the sponge dauber and make that show up a little more, but it's pretty with just the wink. Just make sure you're not making a big blob all the way around it and you're just catching the letters. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the hello. Figure out where we need some linen thread if we do on this one. That's number 30 of 30. Woohoo! And Rebecca, I will be sending you your copy of this PDF tutorial as soon as I finish it. Hopefully it will be tonight. Yay! tomorrow at the latest, but hopefully tonight. And then you could go around. I usually like to do that. I'm going to get a little bit more Wink of Stella. Mine's getting a little bit dry, I think. Let's see if we can do this. Just going to kind of go along that edge where you've got that stitching or the dots, whatever it is. It's like they're stitched. I really like that. It kind of makes it look like a layer there. You have to have a pretty steady hand to do this, which I've got a lot of other issues, but thank goodness that's not one of them. If you're kind of shaky, then I would say do this over your pad. Do it on your little glue mat. And that way, if it goes off the edge on the outside, it's no big deal. But do it before you put it on your card, I would say. And I think this needs a strip of it right here. Isn't that cool? We love our Wink of Stella. All right, open it up. There we have that. I would say put a cute little one of these buds in here too. I think that'd be pretty. That one is kind of rough. There we go. Kind of use your fingernails. If the punch makes it kind of a rough edge, just kind of use your fingernails or a little file and file that down. But I think that's a nice little touch there at the bottom of where you're going to write your little message. You make me happy. Hello, you make me happy. Y'all make me happy watching. I sure appreciate it when you subscribe and share and like and give me comments. It helps me keep going and doing this, because y'all are a lot of the part of why I do this. Okay, we've got Wink of Stella on those, and we are almost done with this card. Fun. Do you like it? Here's the first one, and here is the second one. So number 29 and number 30 in the series. And I'll quit moving so it'll quit pixelating. But I just don't know what causes that or how we're going to fix it, because it's just being ornery. I don't know. And thanks again for tuning in. If y'all have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help. And also, if those of you who are watching and you're not on my team and would like to purchase the PDF project sheet, I will have that available. It should be, like I said, in the description below, or you can just email me at Kelley, Kelley, at createwithkelly.com. And that's it. And you can get this PDF with all of these cards. And if you haven't seen these are on videos 1 through 7. And then we'll have today's cards completes the 30. Yay! Thanks again for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for your patience with the pixelating. Now it looks great at the end. Ah, who knew? I don't know. Can't explain it. Bye. Thanks again. Rebecca, give Francie a hug. Bye-bye.